Hello everybody, this is Abraham at North Shore Computer Services. I just came back from vacation and along for a ride I took this new camcorder. So with my fresh memories I'd like to go over some features, things that I liked and disliked about it. Hopefully this would help somebody make a decision on whether they like the features of the camcorder. So this is Sony FDR-AX33 camcorder. It's a 4K camcorder that has a lot of neat features and also a lot of features that simply I don't understand. So one of the neat features is that it can simultaneously record your 4K and HD, so you get two movies recorded at the same time. So you would get your 4K full quality video that you can't easily edit, and you get your HD movie, which is fairly small files and easily transferable. And I know that there is a software that allows you to basically do the editing on the low quality files, and you simply then transfer all those edits over to the high quality. Instead of working with the high quality files, big files, the software will do it all for you. So you work with the low quality files, the software will work with the high quality files to create the high quality output. I think Sony Vegas does it, don't quote me on that. I'm not into editing, as you can see by my videos. So I had this along, and my previous machine was this one, which is, interestingly enough, almost the same weight. This is a previous generation. This one uses tape, and I quite like it. So let's talk about the 4K. Number one, of course, it's a 4K. Number two, it doesn't use tape, it uses chip. I had a chip just for trying, and sure enough, the chip I had didn't work, because for the full quality 4K you need let's get a box here, something that would read and write at least 90 megabytes, 95. So read speed on this one is 95, write speed is 90. Below 90 you cannot use it in a 4K, just too much information is being saved onto the chip, and it has to be fast. Another thing that Sony has, I haven't seen it, is there is, I believe, like FDR-AX33, which includes the projector. So there's a projector here, and if you look, there's spaces for, let's open that. So there's two available holes. They're plugged in, but or plugged up, but holes are nevertheless present. And this one is for input HDMI. This is an output, so you can input HDMI and output through the projector. And this is to turn projector on and off. So those are two features that are not available on this camcorder, but I've learned that's what those things are. So to turn it on, you basically just flip this open, or you pull the viewfinder. Viewfinder has adjustment up and down, and it has a little wheel to adjust for your sight. On the front, let me take this off. I put, because we were on the beach, there was sand, so if you look at it inside, see, it has gyroscopic compensation, mechanical compensation for movement. So shaking of the camcorder, see, I'm shaking it, but the lens is stable. Do I like that? Honestly, I didn't care much. I think that adds a lot of weight to the camcorder. Hard for me to say whether this was beneficial or not, since I didn't record in shaky environments, and my hands are not really shaky, as you can see. So if somebody has shaky hand, might want to think about this. You're not going to get this on any phone or any cheap camcorder. So this one was not cheap. I think it was $700 or something. But you need to have some kind of lens protector. Problem with that is this is a cheap glass, $5 glass. That's a Carl Zeiss lens on the inside, which is expensive glass. So this negates the reason for having Carl Zeiss. If you put this over, you're basically putting a piece of cheap glass in front of expensive lens, but you're protecting it from sand and dust and whatever, but at the same time you're losing the quality. So there it is, just went out by itself. On top of the camcorder we got the shoe where you can plug in another camcorder. Interestingly, Sony makes another one, so you can have one and another shooting. I don't know what for, because you can do it, you can record 2 streams at the same time. You can also put the lamp and a flash. This one does have a camera, but the way camera works is kind of weird. Let's close that. The Sony boasts that it has a 5.1 channel microphone inside, but the problem with that, it doesn't work on 4K. In other words, a lot of the stuff that has to do with 4K is very limited. So if you downgrade it back to HD, in which case you may as well use this one. Why would I buy a $600-700 camcorder to use it in HD? I want 4K. So as far as 4K goes, it's not complete. This camera can also be controlled remotely via phone, but the features that it has are quite limited. I mean, you can take a picture, you can take a video, you push it on a phone. It also sends that picture over to the phone, which in my opinion was a bit strange. I don't know if all that is needed really. At least I couldn't find a use for it. The reason I thought it would be useful is if I was to record, like right now I'm recording and I have a monitor right here that I'm watching on, I could do it through the phone, but then I have to hold the phone in my hand, so I don't know if it's all that. I haven't tried it, but what I also want to say that I like about this camera is that it has ability to go manual. So you can assign a function to this button and you can do like a manual focus on this. Unfortunately, this button can cycle through several different options like iris and zoom, and it's only one button. The camera that I'm using right now has all those things separated. So if I want to zoom, there you go. If I want to focus, right now it's on autofocus, but I could just adjust it. So that's what I did this for, so I could possibly replace the camera that I have. So the other thing that I noticed was quite interesting is if you turn this on, so it turns on, it was on, but then it went to sleep, so now it's on again. And on this camera, on the old one, I have something called a mirror mode. So let me see if I could turn it on and show. Yep, the battery is okay. Come on. Alright, so if I turn this on like that, open my view, I don't have to open it to turn it on. And then right now the main LCD is showing the picture and the viewfinder is off. But if I put it in this mode, you can see that the viewfinder kicked in. Okay, so this is called a mirror. So the people that you're recording can watch themselves and you see them also. On this camera, not so. So you can see that the viewfinder is off. If I close it, the viewfinder is on. There's a little, hopefully, yeah, visible right there. But if I open, see it went out, and turn it into mirror, it does not turn on. So that kind of defeats the purpose of having a viewfinder. I mean, there are other purposes, but that was totally weird to me that I could not record. People see themselves, but I don't see them. So, you know, you look at them this way, I can't see what's being recorded over there. So please, Sony, fix this problem. Hopefully this can be done with a software update. Now another thing is the strap on this is not made for hands. I don't know, my hands are not huge, but they're not small either. So I had to pull the strap adjustment all the way out. You see, it's held by a sliver. And all this thing is a catchy Velcro, not the soft side, but the catchy side. Catches on freaking everything. I can't put it in a bag because it attaches itself to the sides of the bag. So that was kind of weird. But I could live with these limitations, except there is another limitation on this camcorder that really drove me nuts. So here I am, recording a concert of my little girl, and after about 5 or 6 minutes of recording, this side starts to get hot, and I mean hot. I can handle some heat, but constant heat into your palm, annoying as hell. So I really couldn't hold it for very long. So Sony, please do something about it. Let me show you how you did it in the past. This camcorder uses a tape. There is nothing in here. I'll show you. All this space is basically a doesn't generate any heat. Okay, so there's space here. So this is always cold. And look at the way you've designed the strap in the past. First of all, it goes all the way for the same hand. And second of all, it closes the sticky part. So kind of works. So these were some things that I, knowing something like this, I was very surprised about this camera. Move on. So let's see. The chip positioning. So we have our SD card, or Sony has its own memory stick that could go in there. I honestly haven't seen a single Sony memory stick sold anywhere, so they still say that it's compatible with some here. I don't know. Haven't seen Sony sell anything. This probably happens because market for this product is low. I like to keep things separate. I use the phone for quick and dirty work where I need to take a picture. But if I need to do something serious, I'd get a camcorder. I don't have any mirrors to show what I'm recording on, but it's a Z7. That's what I have right there. It does full quality HD, and it also does, so it does the tape and it does the chip, which is very, very useful, as I found out in the past. So moving on to this camcorder. Weight is definitely a drawback. Limitations that I've showed is a drawback. There is another one that I really missed. Number one, if you're shooting 4K, you cannot take photo, and you cannot record 5.1 channel. So having those things advertised is kind of useless. Just say in 4K, you can only record in 4K stereo, that's all. I mean, I don't know how you advertise, I'm not advertising genius, but I thought that was quite weird. It also has NFC near near field communication. I was not able to get that working. I was able to get the Wi-Fi working, but not the NFC, so I don't know how it works. Another thing, I wanted to, so I have full accessory for this camera. I have a marine pack, which allows me to take this camera underwater. I tried it. It doesn't work. The setup of the cameras, see, this one's higher, this one's lower, and basically my marine pack, as I tried to put it on, it was like showing up on the inside, so I had to make modifications, which I would make, except for the fact that I cannot use any controls on a marine pack. Why? Because Sony has decided that they're not going to be using, so like this camera has full range of inputs and outputs. So they have the, forget what it's called, LANC connector. They have the 1394. The 1394 is being phased out. I don't know why. It's a really nice system, but there's probably something going on with it. So it's got the AV input-output, and this is the same thing as LANC. So this camera will give me the ability to have LANC and ability to have the controls. This is a slightly different type of control, but let's see, like this one uses LANC, and my marine pack uses this one. Well, get ready for this. This one has a multi-port, which is basically similar, or maybe the same as this one, but it's not the same connector. So you have to get an adapter to go from here to control the marine pack. And I'm like, why? I already have all those things, and now I have to shell out another $30 for, you know, cable to go from camera to my controls. Just doesn't make any sense. One nice thing, I'm not all negative about it, is that the battery in the camera is, I'll say interchangeable, but that's not the right word, but it is interchangeable with this camera. Oops, upside down. It does work, and this camera will run on this battery pack for a very long time. The only problem is the battery I have in this camera cannot be used on the other camera. All my chargers and all my accessories for this one, for the battery wise, they don't work. The power connector thankfully does work. So that's one thing that I was really hopeful for, that I could use the same battery. I was hoping to phase this out, to replace it with this one. And as you hear me say, I'm not keeping this camera. The biggest thing for me is the heat generated over here. I have no idea what's behind there, but it's a bad placement of whatever it is that generates that heat. Place it on the bottom, place it on this side, place it on top, anywhere. Last but not least, this camera includes, come on. Oops, took a picture. That's not what I wanted to do. There. A flash. It's very useful. Now, position of the flash on this camera is quite stupid. If I use wide-angle lens on it, it interferes with the flash, but it's minor. When I take a picture, this flash allows me to take quite nice pictures with this camera. And with this one, on top of all the drawbacks, I can't really take a picture. So if I have something to take a picture of and it's too dark, I'm out of luck. So overall, oh yeah, one more thing. in evening in the dark, this viewfinder, there is something wrong with the design, because the light that is illuminating the LCD inside of the viewfinder leaks, and you see the light. And this is not this particular camera's fault, it's the design of the whole line of these cameras. So when you're shooting in the dark, your viewfinder is illuminated beside the actual LCD that's illuminated. I couldn't figure out why that is. I just didn't like it. It was quite annoying. So overall, don't know why Sony decided to make a flagship camera so weirdly, strangely useless. The controls to switch between photo and video, it's on the wrong side. Okay, if I cannot take a picture, I should have ability to switch over to photo mode with this hand without having to go and fish for the button in the dark. Just not intuitive. Also, night shot. Night shot is on the inside of the LCD. It's assumed that you're going to open LCD to turn on night shot. What if I don't want anybody to see the light coming out of the LCD? The night shot button should be on the outside, like it's properly placed on this camcorder. So night shot is right here. I just never thought how thought out this camcorder is, and this one is FDR-AX33. There was a line of these cameras. There was HC, I believe 1, 3, 5, and 7, and 9. Never seen 9, but 5 and 7 are very close. I think it was all about the internal sensor. So they had the product. All they had to do was make it better, convert it to, you know, full digital, and continue on with the life. No, it doesn't happen with Sony. I guess they had to make things much better into something like this that is much better but useless. However little I had this camcorder on right now, this side is already warm. And I wish I had, maybe I should get myself a thermometer that, you know, the infrared thermometer to show what this one does. Anyway, my recommendation on this, don't waste your money. Get the phone with a nice camera. On the inside, one thing that I did notice is after I came back to what am I gonna do with the videos. First I wanted to watch them, so you can put it in a play mode, and it gives you all the videos that you've taken in kind of separate, each time you push on and off, it gives you that little square. So, but it also, pictures that I took are also in there. And if I want to play all of them at once, it plays all the video, and then it stops to show you the picture, and then continues on playing a video, and then stops to show you the picture. That's not what I want. If I had the projector on this camera, and I want to show the family, the kids, or somebody the videos that I took, it would be stopping every time there was a picture taken. So there's, at least I didn't find a way to just play video, which is not the case with this one. You have a separate option for video, separate option for pictures. In fact, your video goes on tape and your pictures go on the this one only takes memory sticks. So last generation camcorder, but I mean, this thing is so thought out. Got every possible thing that you would want in a camera. Very simple to use. Maybe it's my time using it for a few years, this one. But really, for a week, I've been trying to like this camera. I just cannot justify spending the money on this camera whatsoever. I guess if you counter or think that I'm not right in my opinion of this camera, surely leave me a comment. If you think that there is a market for these things, leave me a comment. I honestly don't think that Sony, by trying to do what they're doing, is going to increase the amount of money that comes into the company, at least on this side. I feel really bad for Sony. Lens on this is good. The angle is much better than the one I had. But unfortunately, oh, another thing. I'm not sure if I'm damaging this camcorder right now or not, but what really happens, you can open this, opens, it stays open, there, but it doesn't fix itself, it kind of wobbles inside. So I don't know if this camera is in a jet, I mean in an airplane with all the shaking and everything that goes on, or in a car. I'm not sure if the bearings or however that lens is set in there, if they could break. I mean, this seems to me like a fairly fragile technology. Also, when you try to clean the lens, it is so hard. You try to use a Q-tip or something and the lens wobbles with you. So I really haven't been able to clean the lens properly. That was another thing I just remembered. So overall, like I said, nice idea, nice hope, but no real application. This is a whatever. I don't know if it's 10. It's not 1080. It is 4K progressive. It could take 100 frames per second. In the extreme high-speed shooting, it can take, I think, 120 frames per second. I was reading in the manuals. But unless you're buying a camera just for high-speed shooting, in which case I would get a specialized camera for that, because using something like this for high-speed is, I don't know if it has value. So I'm not going to deliver my verdict, but I don't like it. So to cover the basics, in the box you get your manual. You don't get any software, you got to download all that. It used to give you CDs, but that's fine. You get a USB extension cord. By the way, this camera can be charged through an included USB, which honestly I'm not a big fan of. Sooner or later, either on this side or on this side, the cable inside is going to wear out and break, and this connector is going to become useless. There isn't a USB port on this camera beside this one, so kind of got to be careful about it. It does have microphone input and headphone output, so that's nice. Most cameras don't give you that. But I really do miss the projector. I wish it had one. So, and you get a charger with it. So, no remote. You do have the ability to control this thing with the phone. But if you play, like my TV is far away and I plug it into HDMI and put it next to the TV and I want to sit and control it, can't do that. I don't know if the remotes for the Sony cameras will work. Let's see. I can try. Well, I was testing a remote and my camera went out. So let's see if this camera is going to be operational through remote control. Let's put it in play and play. Okay. Oh, whatever it is, it's not responding to anything on this remote. However, my camera that I'm recording on is responding. I gotta watch it. I pushed a picture and it took a picture. Whereas this camera, of course, will. Let's see. Oh. Come on, okay. I gotta watch what's happening to the camera there. Okay, so this one is zooming. So the remote works, I can tell that. Let's see if we put this in record. And try to zoom. Yeah, it's not responding to this remote codes, the old remote codes. So you can't use a remote that you have for that. There possibly is another remote. So in other words, Sony says you're getting a new camera, you're going to have to get all the new accessories. Everything you have is useless. And I don't like that. I got a lot of money invested into that stuff, and the cameras that I have, they all work with the same accessories. And granted, there are some differences, but they're all adaptable. So hopefully this helps somebody. I didn't cover the deep things on the camera. You can certainly read about them in the manual and what the resolutions and all that. Not important. I'm just trying to show how incredibly unfriendly the camera is. And I'm highly disappointed. I really wanted to convert over to new technology and start recording on a chip. Apparently not yet. I'm still looking. Next thing I'm gonna check is the GoPro. I've been resisting that for a while. Alright, thanks for watching.